How's it going, YouTube? My name's JVIT, and welcome back to another video inside of Destiny 2 Act 1 of Revenant in the final shape. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the complete guide for the Vespers Host Dungeon for dummies, of course. If you guys are new to this dungeon, this is your great opportunity to get this dungeon done. If you didn't beat contest mode, do not worry. I am putting out a guide right now on how you guys can beat all 3 of the encounters inside of the Destiny 2 dungeon Vesper's Host. Now, I'm going to cover everything from mechanics to how the augments work, how to do boss damage, how to do just every encounter. Before we get straight into this encounter, feel free to go to the channel and make sure to, of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, turn on the notifications bell as well if you want to get notified for videos that I post on YouTube. Without further ado, we're going to be going over inside the Vesper's Host dungeon. If you have not already, if you did contest mode, make sure you pick up the quest from Spider, because this actually ties into the collectibles of this encounter. I'm also going to be going over some of the puzzles on how they work in the encounter. But, excuse me, without further ado, let's go straight into the Vesper's Host dungeon inside of Destiny 2. I'll be covering literally everything from all the mechanics and the entire breakdown. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. What's going to happen, you're going to load into the dungeon via the Europa orbit. So you just go to Europa, you'll see the dungeon at the top right next to the Deep Stone Crypt raid. When you load in, you're going to enter this giant spacewalk area, and you're going to enter this giant storage room. It's almost like the Deep Stone Crypt before the third encounter, the jump puzzle. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking for 2 vial carriers, which is a Vandal that has a either operator or a scanner buff. But however, these are called viral scanner and viral operator. How they work is it's very similar to how scanner and operator work, but there is a catch. If there's a 50-second timer on each of them, and if you do not dunk them in 50 seconds, then you are going to immediately die. What you do here is if you're really low on time, you're going to take the augment and dunk it in the shower, and then you're just going to take it out and it'll refresh the timer. What we're looking for here with the scanner is there's going to be 5 panels in this room. However, one of them is incorrect. You're going to go near the panels and you're going to hear a sound cue. Now, I obviously have my entire gameplay muted, but you will know on the sound it sounds like. If you hear a sound that sounds like it's descending, that means that is the incorrect panel. But there's only one panel that's incorrect. The other 4 you can shoot. So you're just going to all 5 of the panels looking for the 4 that are correct, and you're just going to shoot all 4 of them. And that's where the operator comes in. Make sure you take your buff to dunk it in the shower so you don't die, and then you're going to take the operator and remember those panels that were called out. So in this case, it were these ones. So this first one, although also, by the way, if you shoot the wrong panel, you're going to instantly die. So be very careful of that. There's going to be this one. See, they're all going to glow red, but like I said, there's only 4 correct ones. There's this one, and there you go. Airlock power restored. We can start heading inside, and we're going to be making our way to the very first encounter. Let me just show you guys the way to the first encounter if you guys are confused. Okay, so the goal of the first encounter is there are 3 rooms in this entire arena. You got the lungs, the brain, and of course the heart. You will know what they look like just by looking at them, their shapes, and the colors they are. Brain is yellow, lungs is blue, and heart is red. The goal of this encounter is you need to take all 3 of the cores, one from each side, and dunk them inside of the little boxes in the back, right near the giant drone ball thing to activate the encounter. It'll be right behind it when you start it. So when you start the encounter, there's going to be 2 augments, operator and scanner. They're going to do the exact same thing. However, the orientation is a little bit different, and we'll go over how it works. For weapons, honestly, run anything that's roaming, like a Gjallarhorn, Thundercrash, a Thunderlord. Sorry, not Thundercrash. You can use Thundercrash for super if you want, but Warlocks mainly run something that's survivability. Although this encounter is really easy, especially after contest. So run any roaming super, anything with survivability if you're having trouble. Anything does not matter. What's gonna happen is oh yeah, sorry. So Titans you can also run bubble, and honestly hammer works pretty well. And hunters you can just run whatever you guys want. Golden Gun, Blade Barrage, Night Stalker, get rid of those ads. Doesn't matter. When you start the encounter, a giant brig will appear in the middle. Get away from it because you will usually get crushed, which you'll get one tap by it. On contests, it'll kill you in one hit. On normal, it'll probably do some damage to you. After a few seconds after killing the brig, a scanner vandal will spawn. You pick up the augment and you can choose which room we go into. For instance, we go into the heart room on the right side. What you need to do here is kill every single ad to open up the barrier door. Yes, you need to kill every single enemy, especially those really annoying wire rifle vandals, the big boys. I'll call them the Trickster 2.0 because they kind of look like the Trickster. You need to kill all the ads. Those Trickster 2.0s, you gotta be very careful because in contests they'll 2-snipe you. When we enter this room right here, what you're gonna do is with the scanner, you're gonna be in charge of looking for these 6 panels. Once again, my audio is not connected to it, so it's just like the entrance where you gotta get near the panel and you hear the sound cue. When you hear the sound cue, if it is a good sound, then that's the panel you need to hit. If it's like a really if it's like a doom sound, that means that is the incorrect panel. What you're going to do after is if your timer is really low on the scanner, you're going to dunk it in before you die because you only get 58 seconds to dunk it in. And then the operator is going to look for the 4 panels out of the 6 that he needs to shoot. Once again, if you shoot the incorrect panel, you will instantly die. So be very, very careful. As you can see, we shoot this. We don't shoot that one. We don't shoot this one. We shoot this one right here. And then we shoot the corner one. And then there's one more that we shoot. By the way, one more thing to know is if you die when you shoot the wrong panel, not only is that bad, but it'll reset the entire code for the panels. So make sure you shoot the correct panels when you do it because it's gonna restart the code and it's gonna be a different code for shooting the panels. So instead of shooting the top right corner, you won't be able to shoot that one. So you have to shoot a different one instead. After you shoot 4 panels, a nuclear core will spawn. You're going to grab that core and make your way back to the middle where we just were from spawn. And be very careful, there's a bunch of ads that'll try to kill you, those sniper vandals, and of course the shanks, the stasis shanks, which are a new addition to the game. Be very, very careful of those because those will freeze you, and they did hurt really bad during contests. What's going to happen is after you are in the middle, you're going to kill another brig because that is what is activating the little bubbles that's surrounding the good old uh, little toilet seat things. I just call the toilet seats because I don't have the toilet seat. That lets you allow you to dunk the nuclear cores in. But after you kill the brig, you're gonna dunk that nuclear core in, and then you're gonna repeat the same process on the 2 other rooms until you have all 3 nuclear cores dunked in. And let me just show you a quick preview on how that works, really quick. Now, the rooms are literally the exact same thing. The only difference here is the brain and the heart, the brain and the lungs, not the heart. The brain and the lungs are just the 2 longer ones. I think the brain is actually the longest one out of the 2. But what you're gonna do is the orientation is like the exact same thing with the panels and in all 3 of the rooms. The only difference is there's still 6 panels. It's just they're just placed differently. So what you could do is make sure you put your scanner in the operator in the other 2 terminals you were just at. So then you can get them on later when you go into the rooms. You and your team can decide on like numbers for each of the panels. You can go from right to left, all the way to the right to the left side. You can do or you could just call it the ones that are glowing and just remember them. And then once you do that, you're just going to get the core drop. And as you can see, if you shoot the wrong panel, just like the entrance, you're going to immediately die. And then it's going to screw up the orientation, and it's going to be a different code. So like instead of the first one being the actual correct one, it's going to switch over to a different one. But you could get lucky and have this the first panel be the correct code. It's totally random on which panels need to be shot. So just make sure the scanner calls out the ones that are dinging. If they don't sound like they're dinging, if they're not dinging, like it sounds like it's a descending sound, that means it's the incorrect panel. There's two out of the four, 2 out of the 6 panels are going to be incorrect. 4 out of the 6 is going to be the correct ones. And after you shoot all 4, you're going to make your way back to the middle. And on the third core you pick up, instead of a small break spawning, it's going to be a big break spawning. Now on contest, this guy took forever to actually kill, so you need to bust out as much damage as you can to get rid of him. And there's no time limit, so you can have infinite revives, and you can take your time doing this. That's what solo flawlessing is for. So, well, you gotta take your time solo flawlessing anyway, because if you die, you die. But after you kill this last brig, you are officially done with the encounter. All you need to do is take the nuclear core and dunk it in wherever spot you have missed. Whatever spot doesn't have a core inside. In this case, it's the right one. So dunk that in, and you have successfully completed the very first encounter of Vesper's Host. Let's get straight into the next part of the section, which is the little jumping puzzle little thing. We'll go over that really quick. So I'm going to show you guys how that works too. So let's go over it. So how the jumping puzzle works is what's going to happen is when you enter the room, there's going to be a barrier door. Now there's going to be a little terminal you click on, and once you do that, you're going to get a buff called Power Reserves, where you're going to be able to open doors. And what's nice about it is that well, there's a little side to it. You every time you open a door, it removes a power reserve. So what you can do is go inside the room and take the power reserve from that room, and then use it on another door. So and basically, the whole goal of this is you need to dunk 5 nuclear cores into the rooms. There's the big servitor boss that's in this area, so just be very careful. There's a debuff you get for called integration, where the boss will have his eyes on you, where he'll just have like complete 100% vision all over you. And if that reaches 0, you're going to instantly die. So be very careful and do not be in the boss's line of sight. You just want to break it. And what you're going to do is you're going to be looking for the little dunking spots with the numbers on it. And by the way, you need to dunk the nuclear cores in the correct order, which in this case it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really easy. You just got to traverse around it. The power reserves, see how it says power reserves empty? If you don't have any power reserves, then you can't open the doors. But if you do have one, that little blue circle, the little blue square that appears on your above your super, you can see I have 2 of them now. You can use those to open doors. And when you enter the door, for example, you come out here, and as soon as everyone's in, you turn around and grab the power reserve from that door, so it closes and you can use it on another door. And you're just going to be looking for the next nuclear core dunking spot. In this case, this is number 2. That's number 2. You dunk it in there. Every time you dunk one in, a resilient captain is going to spawn. You're just going to kill it. It's like a melee captain, so it doesn't do that much to you. I mean, it'll hurt you, but just kill it. Every time you kill one, it'll drop a nuclear core. Number 3 is going to be this one right here. The boss is right behind you. Be very careful. He's going to start spewing mines at you, which did hit pretty hard on contest. So just be really careful of that on normal. Doesn't hurt that much, but I'd still be self-aware. We're going to keep making our way. I'm just showing you guys the pathway right now. Make sure you get power reserves so you can open these doors. And once again, integration, if it reaches 0, you die instantly. You're going to dunk the next one in number 4. And then we just have one more dunk, which is at number 5. Once we dunk that one, we'll be able to head through to the next encounter, which is Rainix Unified, which is the servitor boss's name. Yes, a very interesting name. I seen a meme of Rainix wearing what is it? It's like a trench coat. So it's kind of interesting because unified sounds like uniform, so that's probably what it's referring to. But yeah, we're just gonna keep heading through. As you can see, we're gonna make our way to the final little core. Don't worry about the left door when you enter that room, because it's gonna say first permissions required. So is the door that guy was heading to, the Jade guy. He was heading to that room, and that's requires a puzzle, and we'll go over that in another video. But we're gonna open this door, and we're gonna dunk in the last nuclear core, and we'll be heading straight into the second boss encounter. Let me explain how that works. We are now heading into the second boss fight of the Vespers host dungeon. As you guys can see, there are panels on the wall with numbers. This is going to be very important for this encounter because this is a giant servitor, and I'll be explaining why it's very important. So you can all see numbers 1 through 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to be shooting 4 panels to start damage phase, and I'm going to show you how it works. By the way, if you get too close, you'll get some dialogue pop up and you'll start the encounter. But as you can see, there's a 2, 9, 5, and 6 in the front. On the right side, there is a 7 and a 3, if you look on the side of it. And then behind it, there is 8, 1, and 4. And then there's a 0 on the left, but you don't need to worry about 0 too much because I haven't gotten 0. But I would just keep an eye on it just in case. How this encounter works is, first of all, let's go over team composition. So if you're a Titan, run Behemoth Titan. All right, Behemoth Titan is very, very useful, very helpful for the Renix Unified because of the melee. The melee does so much damage. For Warlock, you can either run Well of Radiance, Song of Flame, or Voidwalker. I actually chose Voidwalker for this because it is a roaming super that does a lot of damage. And then for Hunter, you can honestly run Blade Barrage. Golden Gun's probably really good for this. Usually this boss is all consistent around explosive damage. So Parasite works very well. Gallahorn works very well. I'm using a better action for clearing ads with Incandescent Heal Clip. It's a must-have, so make sure you pick that up if you don't have it. But yeah, that's pretty much an idea of how weapons are going to be using in this encounter. You can also use Thunder Crash too if you want for Titan, and of course, Burning Maul Pyro Gale if you have that too. That also might work as well. But what's going to happen when you start the encounter is Rainix is going to spawn in the giant's like middle area, the giant hole in the top. You can see it. You'll see him spawn up there. That's where we're going to be heading. What's going to be happening is there's going to be captains and vandals spawning left to right. They did hit pretty hard on contest. Make sure you get rid of them on normal because what's going to happen soon is there's going to be 4 yellow bar marauders that are going to come out from the corners, the little corridors. When you kill all 4 of them, it's going to spawn a machine priest. It is a giant Archon priest boss, kind of like Axis, except that he was an actual machine priest. Parasite will do absolute wonders. It'll like 2-shot the boss. So if you load that, you can easily 1-shot, 2-shot the boss if you apply Radiant and get all that good stuff. I've been using, like I said, just kill the machine priest and all the ads, so you have an easier time surviving. What's going to happen is Rainix Unified is going to teleport you upstairs, and you're going to see a bunch of Exploder Shanks and Shakes. This is the tough part because Exploder Shanks will immediately one-shot you normal or not because they hit really hard. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be going right near Rainix because I'll show you why. There's going to be a Sniper Vandal that has Sniper Shank that spawns with a suppressor, and what you're going to be doing is you're going to be holding down your grenade. Your grenade is going to be replaced with a weird like suppressing little button. You're going to use the grenade button near the boss. Don't get too close because you get meleeed by him and he hits pretty hard. You want to be a good distance from him where you can actually stun him. What's going to happen is when you use the suppressing debuff, it's going to show a like blue little clone. You're going to shoot the clone and that's going to drop servitors. Now, as you can see in the chat, 46. All those servitors I showed you, there's 2 servitors that have a different shade of purple. And all you need to do is just look at their name. If for example, if Rainix 4 and Rainix 6 have a different shade of purple, then those are the first 2 panels that you need to hit. Also operator drops, and make sure you bank it, because I did something really stupid and I bought in the operator buffing, which you don't really want to do that because you can easily die. Because the operator, scanner, and suppressor have a timer where if it reaches 0, you die instantly. What's going to happen from here? You're going to do the exact same thing. It was 4-6 for the first 2 servitors. When you suppress the boss, it's going to send a little clump of servitors down, and you're just going to see the 2 that are different shades of purple. You pay close attention. You see how they have a very bright purple? That's the numbers you're going to be calling out in the chat. And if you guys look closer, mine was 31. However, the stupid thing that I did during this encounter is I shot the wrong panel. If you shoot the wrong panel, not only is that bad, but you need to do another rotation 2 more times for 4 more servitors because it's going to screw up the order, and you'll lose all the numbers that you had for the panels. So be very careful and remember which panel you should. Look in the text chat so you remember. So for example, it was 3 and it was 1, 3, 1, 4, and 6. or that was 8 actually, 313148. As you can see, the generator power surges and a viral carrier appears. That means that it is time for damage. You're going to take the suppressor and suppress the boss once more. Once you suppress him, he will be vulnerable and he'll clump into smaller servitors. You're going to pop your supers, your good old Behemoth, your Well, your Song of Flame, your Nova Bomb, your Galahorn, your Parasite, whatever you're using, just pop it because look how much damage the Behemoth does to the boss. It is absolutely crazy. Glacial Quake will absolutely melt. It is kind of laggy with the whole damage scale, but we got him down to close to half health. So yeah, that's just an idea how the encounter works. I'm gonna give you guys a few more tips on what you need to do to beat the second encounter. You're gonna repeat the process once more. Kill the machine priest to spawn in the middle, and you're gonna do the rotation with the servers 2 more times until the boss will die. So as you can see, I died there because the exploder shank got too close to me. You're gonna kill the suppressor. You're gonna use it on the boss. I'll actually show you an example on what happens when you use the suppressor. So as you can see, he died because he got too close to the boss when he's meleeing. And you see the 2 shades of purple, the really bright ones. Those are the ones you're looking for. So for example, I write in the chat, for example, it should be 2 and 1. 1 and 2 are the 2 panels you need to shoot. Now, honestly, you can just play it safe. No, it's actually 2 and 4. My bad. 2 and 4 were the panels you need to shoot. Once again, if you shoot the wrong panel, you're going to instantly die. So be very careful. 2 and 4 were the callouts. I'm going to shoot 2 and 4, and there we go. 2 panels have been shot. I just got to do it one more time and get 2 more other panels. So honestly, you can do it like this. Tip: wait until you do the 2 rotations, so then you can shoot all 4 of the panels at once. Um, Make sure you have healing nades with you too, because you'll be safe if you're shooting the panels, because you'll have a bunch of vandals and ads shooting after you, and the resilient cabins and the machine priest if you accidentally get it to spawn. But overall, this is a very easy second encounter you're just going to be using. It's a lot of coordination, a lot of callouts with the numbers. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of callouts, but some good callouts, making sure you put the operator back in the shower before you die, watching out for integration, watching out for exploder shanks, stuff like that, and watching out for the boss when he melees too. You don't want to be too close to him, but you want to be a little bit close to him. You don't want to be too close though. So I can see I got way too close to him. And what you do, use the grenade button, a clone spawns, you shoot it, and that'll say he loses strength in Unity, which will cause him to spew out a bunch of servitors, as you can see like that. And there's the 2 shades of purple. For example, I'm going to write them in the chat, such as so. In this case, it's 3 and 6. We're going to shoot 3 and 6 on the wall of panels. After all 4 panels have been shot, a suppressor shank is going to spawn. Be careful because it's a sniper shank and they do hit somewhat hard. You're just going to just shoot the panels. And as you see, I shot the wrong one. If you do that, you're just going to screw up the encounter. Just be very careful. Don't do that. Don't do what I did, because you screw up the encounter, you'll have to reset, and you'll have to get some new servitors to spawn to get 4 more panels. Shoot 4 more panels. So be very careful of that. Don't play like I did. Definitely not gonna do that for the solo flawless. So make sure you pay attention when you are dealing with ratings, and make sure you call the servitors so you remember what they are. And once you make it to the damage phase, you're just going to finish Rainix off. After he gets down to all of his health, he'll be really close to a pinch. What's going to happen is all his servitors are just going to stay alive until you kill him, and you're just going to finish him off. We finished it off really easily. Just kill him. And then just like that, you have beaten the second encounter of Vesper's host. Congratulations. Now we have 1 more encounter to go through with a nice little jumping puzzle. So please enjoy, and we'll all see you at the third encounter. The corrupted puppeteer is the final boss of the Vesper's host, and you guys are thinking, oh, this guy looks exactly like Atrax. I'm sure he's the exact same thing. Kinda. He's kind of like Atrax, but the mechanics are slightly different. There's actually a little bit more going on. Team composition. If you are a warlock, you can run either Nova Bomb, Well of Radiance, Song of Flame, anything that does high super damage, just run it. And then put on some reserves if you put on some reserves and some solar surges, void surges. For instance, if you're using Edge Transit like me, put on Void Surge, and because Edge Transit is one of the best weapons to use for damage. You can also run Grand Overture with Arc Surges too. I know stuff like, I'm trying to think, Whisper of the Worm works. Usually you want to be a far away distance to use Whisper Worm because it's a sniper. And then Titans run Thunder Crash, Curious. That's what a lot of people have been using. And then Hunters, Golden Gun, Blade Barrage. Golden Gun with Celestial. You can run Blade Barrage with Star Eater scales. Anything that does high super damage. You can also run Arc Staff too. I don't really see anybody run that though, but just run whatever works for you. Um, so how this encounter works is you're going to be there's 3 jobs. It's just like what we've been through for the last 2 encounters: suppressor, scanner, and operator. Suppressor's job is every time an augment is picked up, well, during when an augment is picked up, 2 of the clones will spawn. There are 4 clones in total, and they just look just like Atrax if they had melee weapons in their hand. For example, the 2 Atrax clones that spawn in first, they're gonna. One more thing to mention is Suppressor's job is simple. They're gonna get rid of the clones. Okay. Now, you don't have to get rid of every single one in this encounter. You only need to really get rid of the ones that are in this room. Operator's job is going to be shooting panels with numbers on it, and Scanner is going to be calling out which number to shoot. Suppressor, once again, this is very important for all people who are on this encounter. The Atrax clones have bubbles around them, and they are radiation bubbles. They will fill up your stacks of radiation. If you reach times 10 at all, it's just like a nuclear core. You will instantly wipe. So be very, very careful. What you do to suppress, it's just like Rainix. You use your grenade button near the Atrax clones. It'll spawn a clone. If you are lucky and have them grouped up together near the clone, you will shoot it and it'll get rid of their radiation bullet and you'll be able to kill them to spawn the next augment. So it goes suppressor spawns in first, and then after you kill the 2, goes scanner. Scanner spawns in. Scanner will call out the 2 terminals. You see the blue numbers, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. He will call out whatever one is white on your mini map. It'll be like a white pentagon, and you're going to call out the number that's shown. So in this case, if it's 3, then the operator needs to hit all 4 panels to have a number 3 on it. If it is 4, then the operator needs to hit a panel that has all 4 numbers on it. 1 and 2, same exact thing. And I'm just going to show you guys a little rundown on how the first room works. It's really, really simple. There's going to be marauders and drags out, but the main thing that's going to be killing you is the Atrax melee clones because of the radiation stacks. If you get times 10, you die. So be very, very careful. And we're going to keep going on until we get to the second and third room. So let's actually go over some gameplay footage, and I'll see you guys when we get over there. Proper rundown. He spawns in. As you can see, he's going to spawn in 2 clones, 1 on each side of Atrax 1. And then the suppressor will either appear on the left or the right. The person will pick up the suppressor. Remember, there's a timer on each of the augments, so if your timer is low, please be sure to dunk it in any of the available showers, or else you're going to die. So radiation stacks are adding up. Make sure you get away from them until the suppressor has stunned both of them. 2 of them are down. Scanner spawns in. I am the scanner. I'm looking for which one is white. In this case, it is number 2, as you can see by the blue number. The operator, which I was actually soloing operator on this one. I was soloing scanner ants and of course operator. Operator's on the right. You kill the operator, and then you shoot the panels that have a number 2 on it. There are 4. There's 1 there. There's 1 right here. They're all really easy to find. You just got to shoot all 4 of them. He's going to withdraw. What is going to happen is after you bank in all your augments, you're going to go to either the left or the right. Look for one that has red flashing lights. If it's the left side with flashing lights, you're going to go down this hole, and you're just going to follow where I go. You're going to enter a long hallway room with marauders. That is where you need to go. Whatever room has marauders in it is where you need to go, and look for the red flashing lights too. In this case, not that way because there's a hole in the ground. That's going to go to the other side, which he's not going to be there. And you're going to go into this room. So this is where the marauders are. You're going to enter this room right here, and then you come to this part. This part's really easy. In this case, operator needs to hit all 4 panels. You can shoot them in any order. There's no scanning calling out which one you need to shoot. There's 4 of them. You just got to shoot the 4 that appear in this room. After all 4 have been shot, what's going to happen is the scanner, if done correctly, which in this case we did it incorrectly, which I'll just give you guys a quick proper rundown of how it's actually done. Scanner is going to take out his scan. There's going to be 4 more Atrax clones that spawn except with guns, and they'll melee you if you get too close to them. He's going to call out which one has the white pentagon on the minimap. It's just like how you're calling out the little columns with the number on it to shoot the panels, just like in the first room. You're just going to look for the correct one. If you do shoot the incorrect one, which we did here, unstable emission detected, what's going to happen is your timer is going to go down 20 seconds lower. And that is pretty much a wipe because all the HX clones will disappear if you don't shoot the correct one. Let me show you guys how it's actually done. If done correctly, as you guys can see, there was a nuclear core from one of the HX in the one you killed correctly. It's going to drop a core on the ground. You're going to dunk it in the little room right next to you. By the way, there's going to be a white barrier that spawns. If you go through that barrier, if you didn't dunk, you're going to have to re-pick up whatever augment you have, which is the operator, suppressor, and scanner from a vandal. Instead of just dunking them, you get them back easily. So just make sure you dunk them in before you go inside because then you're going to have to look for a vandal to get your augment back. In this case, we're going to rinse and repeat. We're going to shoot 4 more panels, and this is how you start boss damage phase. Every time you do dunk a nuclear core in, it does remove the corrupted puppeteer's health by half. So you need to do this 2 times before damage phase starts. That is how you start damage. As you can see, clean sweep protocol activated. We're going to look for, scanner's going to look for the correct Atrix clones. There's top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. In this case, it is bottom right. We shoot that, a nuclear core spawns. You pick it up, and then you go into this room. Now it really only matters if you dunk in the first phase. The second phase does not matter because you are heading straight into damage. So let's get straight to damage really quick. Just like so, you will have successfully made a damage phase because the Vesper Central will start talking after you come out of the second little pod, whatever nuclear shelter base thing, and you're going to head to the door that has a little red portal in the ground. You're going to go to that little orange portal, and you're going to spawn back in the first room where you started from, and then there's the big door is going to open, and you'll soon head through here. If you brought any augment in here, it's just going to disappear from you instantly. And make sure you have your weapons ready. Make sure they're reloaded, especially Grand Overture, because heavy machine guns like that usually have a long reload speed. So make sure and you're ready to proc your volley, which is the special perk with the missiles, because it does a lot of damage. We're going to come up here where I did damage. I did it on the tank, but you could do it in the back left right near where you dunked the nuclear core in. We're going to start damage. I'm going to proc my Necrochasm and my Aberrant Action, so I get bait and switch on my Edge Transit, which deals insane damage. Look at that. We do end up getting the boss down to more than half, so we get him down to roughly about 2/3 of his health. That's how close I was on contest. We got him down to 2/3, and then nobody picked up the nuclear core, and then we ended up dying. So make sure you do that. Make sure you play it really safe, and then make sure you start damaging the boss. And watch out for the clones because people do die from this part on. Solo flawless if you're not careful. Boss will start moving after about 20-ish seconds. You're just going to start, actually, I'd say about 15-ish seconds to 20. He'll start moving. See, he's weakened. We can start doing extra damage to him. Ignition, the lost signal grenade launcher works really well for this for weakening. If you have, I don't remember what perk it is. I want to say disorienting nades, but it's probably just a weakening buff. But what's going to happen after about 30-ish seconds is the boss is going to commune with the anomaly. You need to head into the nuclear room quickly because if you don't, that orange giant beam attack, kind of like Nazarak's attack from the Ruined Nightmares raid, will go off and you will instantly die. And then you just got to start all over if you are not in the room. So just be very careful. And then you're going to be able to do an extra 30 seconds of damage to the boss. He's going to keep sending down new puppets, which are very dangerous because they are melee and they'll get in your way from doing damage to him. But as you can see, we do end up getting the boss down to, I want to say, like the second R in the name of Corrupted. So if you're going backwards, the second R close to the O. So yeah, he can commune to the anomaly, and you have just done damage. Now it's all about rinse and repeating, and that's basically, guys, how you guys do the final boss of the Vespers host raid. I'm just going to show you guys some quick gameplay footage of the dungeon. Now you're just going to rinse and repeat, do all the exact same mechanics again until you get the boss down to his damage phase. You get rid of his shield and you get down to his just yellow bar health. So you're going to come into this room, go inside the lift, and it'll lift you up in the air, and then you're going to be able to do damage to the boss. But anyways, that's just going to bring us to the end of this dungeon guide. There's so much to learn. Make sure you dunk in your suppressor, scanner, and of course the operator debuff if you haven't already, because you will die in 50 seconds if you don't. And then when you come up here, you're just going to watch out. Also, there's another thing to watch out for. Make sure you watch out for the orange lightning that comes out. That is why going to this giant tank right here is the best spot to go to, because you'll be pretty much safe on this one. You could also go in the back left of the terminal because you won't really get hit by the orange lightning. But just be very, very careful. Run some survivability weapons like a Baron Action. You can also run Well of Radiance, Healing Nades, Healing Rift, Phoenix Dive, and then Titans. You got your Hammer of Souls with Roaring Flames and the Soul Invictus and all that good stuff. And then Hunters, yeah, Healing Nades, just anything that keeps you alive. But that's going to be bringing us to the end of this video. I hope you guys did learn a lot from watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed contest. I certainly did, but I got really close to defeating the boss. This boss is a pain in the ass on contest, and um, I certainly did enjoy it. It's one of the harder first day one dungeon, to believe it or not, day one contest. But yeah, that's just gonna bring us to the end of this video, guys. You have successfully. I wanted to say this now. I just want to congratulate anyone who has completed contest mode and anyone who has obtained the Icebreaker exotic weapon. That's right. The Icebreaker has returned in the game and is available to pick up through RNG if it's on normal and contest. Guaranteed for anyone who has picked it up. Congratulations too. And you can also do the triumphs too, and the collectible triumphs that give you a better chance of getting the exotic from the final boss at the end. Currently, this entire dungeon is farmable, so make sure you go and farm it if you haven't gotten the chance, because you definitely want a lot of those clears and get better chances of getting the exotic itself. Anyways, that is going to bring us to the end of the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, feel free to turn on notifications as well. And comment down below what is your favorite dungeon so far in the game. And are you guys excited for the Heresy dungeon that's going to be coming out? Comment down below and let me know. Anyways, this is JVIT, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching the Vespers Host Dungeon Guide. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone. Everyone, have a great rest of your day, and enjoy Act 2 of Revenant. Or Act 1. We're still in Act 1. But please enjoy Act 1 of Revenant, and have a great day. Bye.